started.
Vizboy. Okay, let's see. Starts off with d4. Maybe I'll go for a Grenfell. I haven't seen one of those in a while. No. That's why I haven't seen a Grenfell in a while. People play other moves and you don't get a Grenfell. Okay, so this is going to be a Slav defense, which is okay with me. I mean, I play the Slav, but just was hoping for some variety. So he's attacking the center and I defend it with the pawn triangle. The other move here in the Slav is to just develop the bishop to f5, the other main move. There are lots of moves, of course. So this is heading towards the Moran variation? No, it's not, because he does the bishop pin. He never played e3. So this is a different line. Let's kick the bishop. This is one of those very exciting lines. You can get into a lot of trouble here if you're not careful. Let's see. So the usual is to take, because the theory is you can kick this bishop back and then grab a pawn. But that was like the old theory. And then the new theory is this is a pawn sack that's good for white. So we'll see. Is this a good pawn sack for white? The thing is, black can play b5 now and hold on to that pawn. But, it leaves this weakness on c6. I mean, you're not forced to play b5, but then you've weakened your king side. And it just prevents me from playing b5. Okay, but that gives me another tempo. Another move to play. So that's not so bad as if I had just not played b5 at all and let him get the pawn back easily, because he's going to move the e-pawn and try and win that pawn with his bishop. And so in this case, I'm going to let him have it. I'm going to try and live with the weakened king side. I can, in fact, try and grab the bishop pair. That seems a bit risky, though, just because of my lack of development here. Weakening the king side, wasting a couple moves to grab the bishop pair, opening up the h-file. All that adds up to trouble, I think. I think that's likely to add up to trouble. So maybe I could play knight to d5 here, taking advantage of the pin piling up on the knight. Pin knight. He didn't prevent it. He could have played e4 there, maybe more in the spirit of this opening. And we'll see. Yeah, e4 would have stopped me from playing there. So what did he do? Oh, he just grabbed the pawn. So he's going to let me take here. So I guess he's going to take back with the pawn. And then he's going to ask me, what am I doing with my bishop? My bishop is going to come back to a5 here and then to c7. And I'm going to oppose his bishop that way. Now I'm deferring castling because I don't know if there's any safe place for me to castle to, but maybe queenside castling is appropriate here. I assume he's just going to castle, but maybe he has other ideas. I mean, castling unpins the c-pawn. If he leaves the c-pawn pin, maybe I should go after the d-pawn in some way. Don't see any big way to do that, though. I think bishop to c7, trying to diminish the influence of this bishop here is... well, it does give up my good bishop. Maybe I should first develop this knight somewhere. Knight to f6. Yeah, so he unpins, so this pawn is free to move. Knight to f6. Well, the one virtue of bishop to c7 is that it allows me to push this b-pawn forward, which I might want to do. Particularly if he plays rook to b1, puts pressure on that pawn. But it'll leave me with the bad bishop here. The bishop on c8 is my bad bishop. I'll have to find a plan. Plan to push these pawns forward and liberate my bishop. And hopefully not get mated in the meantime. Okay, so now he pushes on with e4. So he could have done that in one move. So now I will go after the bishop. I decided maybe the one advantage I can try and get out of this position is the bishop pair. But let's think. He has bishop to e5. I have pawn to f6. He could have played bishop e5 on the previous move, maybe. Okay, I think that's probably good to grab the bishop now. This doesn't open up, well, it does open up the h file, but there's no rook on it. So that's the difference in playing it now versus earlier. Well, I'll be interested in looking at this in the post-mortem and seeing what are the theoretical ways to play this. I'm sure I've wandered quite far. Well, I'll remove 14, so I'm way out of any theory at this point anyway. At least any theory that I know, but just wondering how you're supposed to play this after... yeah, I thought up to g5. I thought that was probably normal. Okay, so he just puts the knight there, which is a good square for the knight. Looking at f7, here, and here. So he may have ideas of sacrificing on f7, but... I see. His plan is to take with the f-pawn. I was sort of assuming he'd take with the h-pawn, but he can take with the f-pawn now. Okay, so what happens if I play f6 here first? He can come here, 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 here. He can come to g6, and I can attack it with my king and take the rook. Okay, he comes to g6, I can play rook to g8. And then where does he go? Back. He's kind of trapped there unless he can be defended. Okay, so we start by driving the knight away. I think it has to go back. Because after knight g6, rook g8, I don't see any great move for the knight. My bishop is defending e6 at the moment. He could pile up on e6. I have queen to somewhere, queen e7 maybe. Yeah, he did go there. Okay. See, aren't these dark squares all covered? My knight is loose, but it can escape by attacking here. Okay, he is giving up a piece. So we'll just, oh, that defended, that defended the knight. Ah, I see, very clever. Very clever. So now, the knight's still kind of trapped though. A king to f7 attacking the knight. Takes here, I take the knight. Yeah, taking there is not a tempo. Risky living. I mean, my king seems like it's getting kind of exposed here, so we'll see. I mean, I was sort of asking for trouble a little bit in the opening with g5 and not knowing the theory, other than that g5 is a move in some of those lines. Okay, well, he's thinking. This is good. He's someone who's thinking harder than I am, so maybe I won't lose on time, which I've come close to a couple of times recently. But what is he going to do? He can take here with check. I take back. Can take there. Yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting. So I think I have to grab the knight now because the knight has an escape square. And now if my knight comes under attack, the other thing he could have tried is the counterattack on my knight. That might have worked. Might have worked better than what he did even. So his bishop now can escape. He doesn't have to give up the bishop, but he is a piece down. He hits my rook, and that goes with check. If he takes the rook, it goes with check. So I'm going to move the rook away. I see. Maybe he wins the exchange back, so I'll have two pieces for the a rook. I'll have two pieces for, and he'll get the rook. So like rook takes, he has bishop to e5, and the rook has no squares. Is there something else? Is there some way I can block that diagonal? I could just retreat. Actually, that's not a bad idea, is it? Is it not? The now he's going to win the exchange anyway because his bishop can come into h7. Okay, so I might as well take that pawn, I guess. Give up the exchange this way. Now let's come in with the knight. Or the queen. Let's bring the queen over here. Now maybe let's bring the queen. no, over here, I guess. But then he can hit my rook. Let's see. Another idea would be rook here. He has the move g4 though. That's what's worrying me is g4. Okay, knight here. Hits the bishop. Let's see, what's the time? 240 to 250. I used up all the time that I had. That advantage I had. I just wanted to get the knight out of trouble and didn't have many squares to go back to. It comes forward and hits his bishop. His bishop comes here with check. I'll take it. If he takes my rook, I will take back with the queen. So I am giving up the exchange, but I have two pieces for it. So. Right, isn't that correct? I'll have a rook and three pieces, and he'll have a rook, two rooks and one bishop. And I just then need to activate all my pieces. Okay, let's keep watching the time. So 3 minutes to 2 minutes. My pieces are not playing. My bishop and my knight. My bishop and my rook, the queenside rook, are not playing, and that's a problem for me. And I just went there so that I don't take his bishop. Okay, let's not do anything fancy. Let's just develop the bishop and open up an avenue for the rook to come out. How am I going to get this bishop in the game? Maybe rook to e8 and pawn to e5. Okay, so he's hitting the knight. I was thinking the knight could go back here to block his bishop. It has to be defended. But it seems like I can hold it there. He can only pile up on it with bishop and queen. I mean, the other tempting looking square is e d5 there, which would pile up on c3. Knight d5 would hit c3 in coordination with the bishop. Looks like that might have been a good move too. Okay, so he is going to open up, which is smart move. Okay, so what am I going to do about that? What am I doing? Yeah, my loose play has caught up with me, huh? So king here, he takes. I can take with the queen and defend the knight that way. I was running out of squares from which to defend this knight. So yeah, maybe knight to d5 there might have been the better choice. You know, go for the offense instead of trying to play defense here. Okay, 2 minutes to 44 seconds. But we have increments, so he can start moving quickly and still stay in the game. I know, because many people have defeated me that way by moving quickly. So rook e8 and pawn to e5 are my tentative moves I'm thinking of. Giving this bishop some squares. And maybe bishop to h3, even trying to control the f-file a little better. Okay, so that's a little bit of what I was afraid of. He's going after this pawn. And if I defend it by pushing it forward, then that locks this bishop out of the game. Pretty annoying. But if I don't defend it, his rook can enter the game. I can still play rook here and postpone this decision. Maybe I can get in b. Okay, so I figured this one out. Maybe I can get in b5 here. Okay, so he wants to double there. Let's trade rooks. Yep, he started moving fast. Okay, so his queen is now lined up there. The queen can penetrate to the second rank there. That's annoying. Yeah, it's this, what you gonna do? If I play knight h8, he can go all the way to the 8th rank. Otherwise, he can come into the 7th rank. I can cover the 7th rank with my bishop. That's what I can do.
Check.
Ah! That's so annoying. Playing these quick moves that are good. Very annoying. Maybe they're not so good. Maybe I can get something here. If he takes the bishop, I take the rook.
Check.
So he just trades queens. And now it's two bishops against a rook. We'll see how we do. If he takes there's a check and pick up the rook. So he noticed that. Okay, let's grab some pawns. Okay, so let's unpin here.
Check.
And win this pawn. He's going to have 2 pawns over here now, but I now have 1 pawn over here. I didn't go for that. Okay, good. The time pressure is getting to him as well, so let's move my pawn forward.
Check.
Let's bring my king in. Let's bring my king in some more. Okay, 1 minute to 9 seconds. I won't run out of time yet.
White resigns.
Got a win. Okay, well, that was an interesting game. I will upload this and do a postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.